I went with the intention of I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to know everything from the get-go, but I know that there's a goal to target. And I know that if I mess up enough times and if I screw up enough times quick enough in a safe enough way where it's not completely damaging to myself and my ego, I'll pick myself back up and figure it in. And I've kind of boiled it all down to this 7-word sentence prompt that I put in my calendar and reminder.
Okay.
And I've used this phrase on you a number of times. Let me send some business your way. Let me give. And by having that mindset shift change, and I've made it a habit myself, let me send some business your way. And it completely shifts the perspective of how I collaborate, how I work with people, and how people respond to me now.
Hello and welcome to another podcast at 33 Conversations podcast. And I am your host, Michael Abney. We talk with founders about what they're building, the meaning behind it, the struggles that we go through, like bringing some reality to what it really takes, the commitment it takes, the vision it takes, and the confidence it takes to build something that is inside of you that's not real in the world. We're here to talk about that because you may be having that happen in your own life where I want to do that, but like every step you take, there's another roadblock. And we're here to help dissolve those by talking with real founders about what they're really doing in real life. And today I'm joined by a friend from the north, Jesse Holmes. You are in Windsor, Canada. Thank you so much for being here. And you found us through Need a Guest, right?
That's
so
right.
I had a very specific ask for that. I've used it before for my last series. So what was that about that post that attracted you to fill out an application and be here today? And first, thank you for being here on the pod today. It's a lot to rearrange our lives to make all of these things happen. But I'm grateful that you're here and I'm excited to hear your story.
Yeah, what drew me to it was just the rawness, the realness, the genuineness. I've been on 30-something plus podcasts in the last few weeks and through connecting through the Need a Guest and things like that platforms. But just what your post really, really resonated with me was just the genuineness, the depth and the reality that you want to bring to the table. So I was just really looking forward to being able to be a part of something like this.
Okay, let's rock. So tell me about for all of us, there was some sort, for me, it was my dad passing away. Like, what was it for you that was the spark that, one day my life looked like this, and then the next day it looked like this? Like, what was the thing?
Yeah, so about 353 days ago, I got an email from my media buyer. So I ran a 8-figure supplement business. I sold in magazines, newspapers, direct mail. I got an email from him saying, hey, look, the industry's changing. Everything's changing. We just had a fellow friend and I guess competitor, I guess you'd say, who just got cracked down by the FTC for $4.9 million. And at that point, I said, okay, looks like I need to completely pivot and change business models and do something different. I enjoyed the business. It was wonderful, but I wanted a new business that was a little bit more me facing. I had a product and a supplement line, but no one ever knew who I was whatsoever. So I wanted something where I could be a little bit more myself, a little bit more personable, and give more of my value in my 19 years of entrepreneurial experience and the things that I've learned and the habits I've developed and the skills that I've learned to actually be able to impart and give to people in a more personal way. And so that has led me to a coaching business where I help other entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, coaches. I help them with their business now. And I've just taken this whole journey to really refine my message to being, my biggest struggle was how do I get consistent interest in leads and referrals, and how do I build up my business completely from scratch if I've never been in this industry before? And the biggest shift for me was, instead of trying to be all about myself and here's who I am and here's my pretty face and everything I can offer, I started leading with, how can I give? How can I completely change? How can I say, let me serve you. Let me see if I can send business your way. Let me see if I can give and lead with value first and make it all about the other person instead of making it all about me. And that shift has led me from not knowing where my next lead or my next potential customer is going to come from, to now waking up into my email inbox saying, I just sent you to someone else. This person has to work with you. This person has to work with you, because it's been a shift of, I'm no longer about myself. I'm about giving and about giving to other people.
Yeah, it's incredible, right?
Absolutely. It's been a big shift for me, and it's just changed the way I show up. It's changed the way I help others, and just to change the way people want to do business with me.
So how did that happen? Like that's great hearing that, but I know because I've worked with people my whole life, like that just doesn't happen. Okay, let me just try serving. Like, did you read something or like it's a profound difference because I assume you weren't intentionally making it about yourself. Like we all would not intentionally do that, but like for me, the hardest part was like telling when somebody would say, "What do you do at a party?" And I'm like, "Oh God, here I have to go again," because there's the whole thing. Because I grew up in this, I'm born in '66, so like I grew up in a time where you did what people told you. They ask you what you do, you tell them what you do. And it wasn't until later on when I realized it was a master class for pitching, without pitching, for an amazing lady. I love her. Forbes Riley, if anybody wants to know how to pitch, it's that lady. She's amazing. But it's not pitching. It's understanding that when somebody asks you that, they're not asking you what you do. They're asking what you can do for me. And not from a selfish point of view, but like we're all looking for the solutions for the problems that we have in our life. And if it's not that, I don't want that. I want solutions. And that was my, and in that came service. How can I take me out of, yeah. So I get the shift, but like, what was your experience of that bridge?
My
Because
experience
that's,
yeah, very similar to yours in that a lot of people, I was getting on a lot of different podcasts and doing a lot of different interviews and things like that where people are asking, about myself and what do I do and things like that. And I just felt like I was hitting my head against a wall talking about myself instead of like you said, they're not asking about me. They're asking about what problems can I help them solve. And so
yes.
changing the mindset and perspective of, okay, it's not about me. Nothing has to do about me. It has to do with them and their problems. And I'm like, if I focus on that person and where they're at in their business and what they need help with and how maybe I can be a piece in solving that problem for them, the relationship changes, the dynamic changes. I've been able to speak on different platforms and venues and things like that I felt way in over my head with. But instead of taking the perspective of, here's everything cool about me, it's just like, you know what? How can I help you? Let me serve you. How can I solve your problems? How can I lead with that? And it's just been a profound shift in the way I show up, the way I communicate, and the people that I now partner with and collaborate with.
What was the obstacles that you hit? Like, what was when you were getting it off the ground, when you made that shift, there was new actions that probably came that you weren't doing before, that were in alignment with who you're becoming.
Mm-hmm.
But our lives become like record players and they get grooves in them. And it's really difficult to like switch grooves to a new song because we don't know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a record scratch. It's
That's right.
never comfortable because we're literally changing train tracks.
That's right.
So what was the thing? And that's also where we get stopped the most. It's where we get stopped the most because we think something's wrong. And there's nothing wrong. That's actually the damn process.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what was yours? Like, what was
For
yours?
me, it was coming across as a coach, I was trying to figure out what do I know the best? What is my best value to bring to people? And so, maybe I can help with this or with this. And I was focusing on me and my experience instead of just asking people, where are you at? Like, what do you need? That was the shift of, it's really hard to explain other than I just hitting my head up against the wall, being like me, to being like, you know what, you.
Were you blown away when you started getting feedback? Because I had a version where I'm just gonna admit it. I thought I was right, but like, because of the view that I have. But like, that's not what the feedback that I got. Mm-hmm. Like, what was the you thought it was this, but like, what was the thing that they showed you when you actually started to ask, which is so powerful. It's also scary because it might not be what you thought it was. You had to let.
I thought it was something completely different. I thought they needed to
Share me what that was.
I'm like, my superpower is this. Maybe this is what you need. And that's not even, maybe it's what they need, but that's not what they want. And I can't lead with that, or I can't take them into that transformation if all I'm telling them is you need to focus on the right things in your life and business. You need to develop those habits and the characteristics to make you a new person and experience that transformation. None of that was going, everything was going right over their head. And they weren't able to enter into that, even though that's what I do for them and what they actually need to experience real change in their life. What they
That make a
wanted,
difference.
right? What they wanted was, yeah, but my business is here.
This is here.
I just need more business. And so I completely changed it around to like, okay, what you need is more business. Let me start there. Let me start by sending you more business. And then we can talk about what you really need to make the change to actually generate more business, which is, again, a lot of the discoveries I did is who are you trying to attract and what are you leading with? What are you giving? Is it all about you and what you can do for them? Or is it all about them and their problem and how you can help solve it?
Do you have an offer right now, or like how did this happen that you built what you built? Like how did that, for me it was an aha to even understand about the process. This was a couple of years ago when I went through you have to have an offer. I had to have a gift, you have a gift, but we also have to, at the beginning, we literally have to learn things that is not in our wheelhouse.
That's right.
And so what? You got to do it and do it the best job that you can as quickly as you can because there's nobody else around you. But at some point, you got to let that go it's both. It's both. I've never seen it be different because if you don't, no one's going to be able to hear you. No one's going to be able to get to a point. You got to get your offer to a point that it makes sense to people. And that's when I started learning about funnels. And like, I built physical businesses. I had a hair salon and then I had a real estate business. They were physical businesses, but they fronted the thing that I loved to do was coaching people and like helping because everybody knew I was the guy to call when the shit hit the fan. Mm-hmm. And I would help them through, never hear from them again until the shit hit the fan again. And I placed no value on it. I was just the guy that could handle that. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? 2020 hit. The world hit the fan for all of us. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, whoa. This thing that was happening individually is happening collectively. And I know what people go through when they go through change, transformation unconsciously. I want to go get in a cave somewhere because that's destruction on the level you can't even imagine. So like, what can I do to help? Mm-hmm. So you were in that same sort of spot. But how did that result in the offer that you are passionate about or what you are offering?
When it comes to coaching, like I am the offer. I'm selling myself and my time and my expertise. So I had to figure out how to position myself in a way that was the most valuable to others. Instead of saying, this is what I think is what's going to be of service and of value to you. Where do you want value? What do you need help with? Because as a coach, you're accessing my time. You're getting me for an hour every single week to help you work through the problems in your business. And so I needed to go from what I was offering before, which I thought was the habits and the leverage and the things like that, to how can I build my business? How can I grow? How can I generate more interest and more leads and more? How can I have everyone raving about me and wanting to do business with me and helping other people enter into that? Because that was the biggest shift for me. Is like, yes, I have this offer. Yes, I have these things, but it's not like I have a big community of people just dying to work with me and or wanting to send people to work with me. And since going through this shift and leading with value and giving without asking anything in return, now I wake up to my inbox saying, here's 2 more people that absolutely need to work with you. Here's another person that absolutely needs to work with you. And these people weren't even my clients. They were just people that I helped and impacted and led with and gave value to. And now they're spreading the word for me and saying, everyone needs to work with Jesse.
Okay, so this is powerful. This is brilliant. I want to go under the hood of it just a little bit. Because everything's energy. So everything that you just stated really was a reflection of what you got going on inside of you at any particular moment. It's always mirroring right back to you, right? So as you're going through this shift, are you aware of that this feedback from people is really, you're connected to it too?
I went in with the intention of discovering this feedback. I knew that it's going to have to be messy. I'm going to have to mess up. I'm going to have to fail flat on my face. And I just said, you know what? If I'm going to mess up, I'm going to do it every single day. I'm going to do it quickly, and I'm going to take one step closer to figuring it out. So I went with the intention of, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to know everything from the get-go. But I know that there's a goal, there's a target. And I know that if I mess up enough times and if I screw up enough times quick enough, in a safe enough way where it's not completely damaging to myself and my ego, I'll pick myself back up and figure it out and go through it. And I've kind of boiled it all down to this 7-word sentence prompt that I put in my calendar and reminder.
Okay.
And I've used this phrase on you a number of times. I'm not sure if you caught it, but I lead with this as, let me send some business your way. Let me give. And by having that mindset shift change, and I've made it a habit myself, I put it in a reminder on my phone, on my to-do list, I check it off every day. I message someone every single day, let me send some business your way. And that just, it completely shifts the perspective of how I collaborate, how I work with people, and how people respond to me now. Now I'm having people that I thought, like I said, were way out of my league, so to speak, being like, that's amazing. Like, you need to be plugged into my community now. Now I need to get you in front of my audience because you're obviously just a person that loves to give and shares and gives value of people, what people really truly need.
So what's been the outcome?
It's gone from not knowing where my next lead or referral is going to come from to waking up to more leads than I know what to do with. So it's been absolutely amazing.
How long has it taken you?
So this shift from I'll make it all about me to let me send some business your way, that shift has been about, I want to say 15 days maybe. In these last 15 days, it's gone from who's going to join my program now to being like, I want to talk to you. Like, I literally jumped off talking to someone right before jumping on this. And in 10 minutes, I'm jumping off and talking to somebody else. And tomorrow I got more people, I got more opportunities and appointments and referrals lined up in my calendar than I've ever had before. And it's completely, and with just that one shift, and I don't have to push. I don't have to apply to a million different podcasts or anything like that. I just message one person a day. Hey, I love you. I love what you do. Maybe what you do is perfect for my audience. Let me try and send some business your way.
What do you do to connect yourself every day to who you authentically are? You know, because I know if I get excited when I talk. So I have to really presence myself to stay present when I'm speaking because I get so kid in a candy store because I love what I do. So I see the same thing in you too.
Oh, yeah.
So we have to have, I after my dad died, I didn't want to be bored, so I took a 3-month meditation accreditation class, and I was like, I'm going to go be a meditation teacher. That's all I want to do. I don't want to deal with nobody else. That taught me something about meditation that I didn't know, or about the became something that I transformed from something that I just did for something to an experience that I was in the midst of. It shifted, and it became like a space where I could center myself in a really long time. And then that led to another experience where I was with a yogi, and I figured out, or he shared with me, he's like, you're not your thoughts, you're not your body. And that's your mantra. You're not your thoughts, you're not your body. Mm-hmm. And I would just meditate on that, and that it creates a little space between me and the avatar Michael, because, there's no little Jesse in there running around. There's no Michael in me. It's like we're the awareness falling through, but human beings don't operate like that. But if we did, we'd stop reacting. And we stop reacting, we start responding like this was what you did. Like something about when you switched, I feel like something shifted in you that you stopped reacting as much. Is that
absolutely? Yeah.
Does that map on?
Yeah, 100%. I'm big on discovering what it is to be proactive and being intentional, even if it's just a little bit every single day, compared to just reacting to my whole environment. That's absolutely like a core of what my practice is. And that's why I'm saying this one simple phrase for me is my highest leverage habit when it comes to business. I have habits in every area of my life, where it's relationships with my spouse, with my kids, with myself and my nutrition and my spiritual and everything like that. I have high leverage focal points that I can intentionally do even for a few minutes every single day. That sets me up proactively to being a little bit more in tune and aware, compared to being in that constant reactive mode. And this was just the one of them that was for me for the business.
I love it. So this happened so quickly ago, but I bet it feels like a lifetime, doesn't it?
It does.
It's weird, right?
I don't even remember what it was like before.
I just met Jeremy a couple of months ago, and it's like I don't remember life before because he. One of the things I'm proving in my product or my solution that I built is that this idea about being witnessed by people. Like how powerful it is to be seen for who you are, your being, not who you do or what you do. There's a shift, there's a difference. And Jeremy saw that, and I know you coaching, you're touching people intimately, that they see that with you. And how does that impact you? Because you're evolving too, I'm evolving, we're still all evolving. How does the mirrors that you work with impact you? Because every coaching call I've ever had in my life, really, I learned things by seeing that dynamic. What have you learned since this shift? And then I really want to get the thing that knocked you in the dirt. What was the thing that just brought you to your knees?
So the first question is, what's the shift been? One, it's been attracting people that are like me. If I'm leading with giving, I'm attracting people that are givers. When I was leading with taking, I was attracting people that were takers. And you can only take so much until there's nothing left for anybody. But the more I give, life gives to the giver. And so if I'm attracting givers, it's just this. It just amplifies and grows because I give to you, you give to me, I give to you, you give to me, I give to you, and there's no end to it. Compared to, I took a little bit from you, now you took a little bit from me, and next thing you know, there's just crumbs left on the table.
Not enough. Scarcity.
That's right.
Old world. You're in the new world.
That's right.
That's based off of this. And you haven't even begun to embody this yet.
I know.
Still
it's still fresh.
But you got here's your mirror. Let some of this drop into your chest, into your heart. Because a lot of it lives still right here.
Right. I need to let it become me.
You can instantly feel it. The people listening to this can feel it. It just be present to your heart, right now. Just that you've had this shift, and then there was this the thing that brought you here is just as valuable. The shitty stuff that happens to us is just as valuable as the other part of it. It's two sides of the same coin. What was that for you? What was that?
Yeah, for me, it was the big shift from having this wonderful, super successful business that I was able to run in just a few minutes a day that gave me the absolute ideal lifestyle that I was ever planning and wanting, to having that rug completely pulled out from under me. And it's now what? My wife's pregnant with our second child. She's about to go on maternity leave. I have this other business that's completely gone from, doing millions of dollars a year to now completely being scaled down and changed. And now I'm completely starting fresh and entering into this new chapter of my life. It was the bomb exploding and being okay, well, now what do I got to do? And that put me in a very desperate state of mind for a long time. And I was only attracting people that were takers or things like that. And now this embodiment of this shift is wow, I'm finding the people that want to give. And it's plugged me into more opportunities and more people and more surrounding people like yourself that we're now benefiting mutually instead of it just being a one-way beneficial.
And I'm a hound, so I really what was the thing that caused you to shift? Was it a book? Was it a mentor that shared this with you? What was that thing that caused you to go, hey, I know you don't get enlightenment like that. That was after the fact. So what was the thing that caused you to tilt to even lean into having a different conversation?
Yeah, I definitely had a mentor who kind of walked me through his own process, and this is a little bit of what he taught, but it wasn't the full embodiment of his system and things like that. I just boiled it down through my experience. I said, what's the most important thing here? He had a whole big system and courses and all this kind of stuff. And, what's the one nugget that if I embody will completely make the biggest shift? And for that, it was me boiling it down to this one sentence: let me send some business your way.
So it's a skill set that you can literally teach, because that's not present with everybody. But that was it. That's what That's what I wanted, was that. That's it. Yeah.
Thank
right?
you.
But imagine somebody out there that doesn't know that stuff. You didn't know that. You attracted the mentor. It's all part of the process, but you wouldn't be here if that didn't happen exactly the way. Thank God that job went away, because you were not you're raising children, right? And a family. That surface level, Jesse, your frequency of your children, not that. So you really, like that. So you couldn't be there. What was a problem really was your evolution.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that with me. Because it's definitely changed how I show up with my son as well. Instead of trying to get him to do what I want to do, it's like, what do you want? Let's do what you want to do first. Let's play. Let me help you. Let me invest into you. And it's completely shifted and changed everything. So thank you for reminding me of that.
You're right. I love being mirrors. I love that.
You're excellent. You are excellent at mirroring.
I've had a lot of practice. But that's the part. I love pointing out the parts that we miss. We're kind of programmed to gloss over things, but the gold is underneath the how we actually emerged, and the things that we think are just horrific when we're going through it, because all of that happening, and I've had multiple deaths in my life recently, and I'm just getting that time of life, it happens all the time, but I avoided it because, I'm a mama's boy, take care of your mama. Yeah. And that's something I can't even, think about, but you know what it forced me to do? It forced me to have a conversation with my mom. It's listen, I know you're not going to be here forever. Let's talk about this. Take the Band-Aid off. And it was uncomfortable. Absolutely. Still touches me, that she would then go, oh, I want this, and this. And it helped, and she doesn't want a funeral. She doesn't want any of that. And just hearing and listening and being able to lean into an uncomfortable conversation literally can change the course of your life. Those things that we avoid literally are run to them. And that's what you did. And you had your kids there. It's okay, I don't have a choice. I have, universe gave you a guardrail. It's okay, I can't sit around and mope here in this space very long because I'm not gonna have any food for my kids or shelter or whatever. Survival. You were committed to exiting that, and you dug deep and had that experience that shifted to God, just that one shift alone right there. And you're a witness, you're living proof that just in 2 weeks after you shifted, your life is different. And that's how quick energy works right now. It's how quick perception works, and how quickly the universe mirrors what we're mirroring to it. Yeah, so beautiful example. What are you hyped about? What are you excited for next year? Have you started to, when this happens, it gets kind of a lot all at once. So what is the vision for you for next year?
Sharing it with others, sharing it and imparting this belief into others as well, and helping them see the change and experience the same transformation, and seeing their businesses change when they go from the perspective of making it all about themselves to making it all about others.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's kind of the anti-corp, take on life, because we're human. Humans are what do everything. We're AI is not AI unless it's got a human interfacing with it. It doesn't work without it. It can't take over. We're it. Everything's us. Exiting fear, I'm all for it. It's all bullshit. It's about love, and you're literally embodying that. What's some wisdom that you can give that, 30,000 feet view, you looking at Jesse going through this experience? What would you tell Jesse 5 years ago?
You can't force this change. It has to come naturally. And things that you were mentioning, all the stuff that happens to you is for a reason and for a purpose, and it's what causes your evolution. It's not been done to you, but it's done for you. And so I wish I'd known this earlier to take a different perspective on it and a little bit more, a better outlook from the get-go, for sure.
But now you are giving that. Funny how life works, isn't it?
Right. Yes, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate that, Michael.
It's my pleasure. I think we definitely got some gold here, and I love them being like just a little power burst of, yep, this is what this was, this is what this is, because I just know there are so many people that are now feeling and finding that gift that they've got inside of them. And yes, we all deserve to have our lives flowing in abundance from the gift that we have. I know that that's how we're designed, and you just exposed a key to having that be real in our lives, and how we can serve and how we can have that perspective as we move forward in our business, whatever it is that we're creating, nonprofit, whatever it is that's benefiting the whole. Yeah, I'm here to support it, make it fun and easy, and create a community out of it, because we're all we got. We're all we got. Ain't nobody else out there coming to save us. It's us. But we can do it. And you did it in the face of no agreement, which is the most powerful thing in the world we can do. So with that, Jesse, I thank you so much for being on the pod. Hope you guys listening to us at 33 Conversations. Yes, we're having 33 conversations every single month. So keep enjoying. They'll keep coming out a little pocket information and inspiration that you can carry with you as you're fulfilling what's in your mission that's inside of you. We're here to support, we're here to love, and we're here to listen. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next pod. Bye-bye.